All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. And my name is Judson Powell. I am the CEO of Capri Television, Capri TV, KHEPRII, Capri.com, 2 eyes, so that you can see. All right, anyway, more election talk. But this time it's going to be a little bit more closer to home because I want to talk about something that happened during the campaign, and it was actually what happened at Kamala Harris's first rally, which was in Atlanta, Georgia, where the performing artist Megan Thee Stallion performed. Well, there was a lot of backclap about it, and a lot of people kind of got angry because they felt like it was disrespectful to have Megan Thee Stallion because of her, her style of dance, the twerk, and all of that. Okay, we all know what it is. But anyway, so a lot of people thought that was disrespectful, Democrats included, and of course the Republicans were going to criticize because they're going to criticize anything, they're criticize the woman being, being Indian, and criticize the woman being, oh, she's not black, but her father's Jamaican. How are you Jamaican, but you're not black? I don't get it. But anyway, I digress to that. But the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing brings up the thing about hoe culture, all right? And they spell it all kinds of, I think it's H-A-U, something like that. Anyway, but anyway, I'm not the greatest spelling champ in the world. But anyway, but it's whole culture. They don't spell it like the regular spelling. And so you got all of these artists that are out here now, female artists, that are doing things. So you got Latto, you got Sexy Red, you got Megan Thee Stallion, of course, Cardi B, and I guess you could say like the list goes, Glorilla, all of those, so you got all of these female artists that have, now Glow is not exactly as provocative as all the rest of them, but she is in the videos with all the rest of them. So what I'm getting at is that why is this significant, or why is it even an issue? Simply because of the fact that is their expression of their art. And so I get into a lot of arguments about this kind of stuff because of the fact that I try to tell everybody, look, it's their art. When we were young, we had this, the same type of stuff. It wasn't quite as provocative as it is now, or maybe it was, but at the time, it was like, it seemed like the whole world to us. And, so, and because we evolved from disco to, to basically to rap, and then to, gangster rap and all of that. So all of the evolution of everything that happened, everything sort of progressed as far as what you would say was like vulgar or derogatory information, or things that were, considered to be kind of politically incorrect. But it still goes on to this day. And so all of the other genres, so this is basically a new genre of rap music with the ladies. Not the minute, but it's been going on for a long time, because let's not forget, we had Little Kim and Foxy Brown, and then of course the original MC Shy-Rock, from Funky 4+1 More. So we got to understand that ladies have been doing this. Then we got, then we go up to Queen Latifah, Roxanne Shante, and I'm not trying to leave anybody out or anything like that. But what I'm trying to get at is that the ladies were always like kind of reserved and laid back, or they were kind of tomboyish looking until Foxy Brown and Little Kim showed up. Then all of a sudden the that kind of stuff showed up. And then and I forgot, oh my goodness, I forgot Nicki Minaj. I don't want to forget Nicki. So there are all of these ladies out here that are now like raising the bar, but it's their art. In fact, that's the way I feel about all of it, because I was talking to my brother, and we were just talking about how, like, everything, does art imitate life, or does life imitate art, or probably it's a little bit of both, right? It's probably a little bit of both. It's like is it going to be like, what are you doing, and what's it going to be? But a lot of times, all of this art, all of this music and everything, it comes from a place. A lot of times, it comes from a place of hurt, a place of pain, a place of tragedy, a place of whatever. Because let's face it, most great art is actually based upon pain. And a lot of great artists, they have all kinds of social and substance abuse problems and all kinds of things, but is part and parcel to art. For some reason, that's just the way it is, and it's not to say that these are bad people or anything like that. What it's to say is that you got to understand that all of this art, right, is coming from someplace, and it's coming from the recesses of somebody's mind that's been through something. Just like why do you have scratching, like in hip hop? Why do you have scratching? You have scratching because they were just scratching the record while the MC was controlling the microphone, and then they're sitting up there on one, because that was before mixers and turntable, so the technology has advanced. But when it first started out, dude had one turntable. He probably had a James Brown album, or the Funky Drummer or whatever, and was just like cutting it back and forth, cutting it up. So there has been an evolution, and all it is that the ladies have sat back and have watched everything, and what is different from them, what's different about them as opposed to like the burlesque performers or the vaudeville performers. You got to face it, our culture, part of our culture, a major part of our culture is hoe culture and strip culture, because a lot of the music that's out here, let's face it, what is it geared to? It's geared towards, misogyny, the whole patriarchy, is geared towards alcohol, drugs, sex, lavish lifestyle, extravagant lifestyles, big cars, fancy houses, all of that stuff. But all of it is stuff that probably the average, everyday, ordinary person is never going to have. But it's like they're dangling in that aspect. In my opinion, is dangerous, because they're dangling. That's worse than the words that they're, to me, it's worse than the words they're saying, because then it creates this atmosphere where they look upon their success as being materialistic, or being something that they have seen or they aspire to, that they've seen in a music video, or that they've seen, or that they've heard a lyric that they've heard in a rap record. And as time evolves, the thing about it is we're going back. And so they say, how are we going back? Because like today, one of the number one songs in rhythm and blues music is by a white guy. And then one of the number one songs in country music is literally by a black guy. You know, that bar song, that's a black guy. And people are like, oh, the bar song, the bar song goes on, everybody's dancing, but they don't realize that is not who you think it is. And the same thing with the $1 Million Baby. And it is like one of the hottest songs. And then you got white artists that are crossing over to the black charts like Sabrina Carpenter, or you got Koreans and Chinese and all of these other artists that are starting to do R&B, and some of it is let's face it, is very good. And there's not a lot of African Americans actually pursuing rhythm and blues. Everybody wants to be a rapper, so there's not as many singers and performers who play instruments and sing and do all of those things. So basically what these female rappers are doing, they just found another niche. They found another, it's like, look, this is our thing. So am I mad at them? No. Because it's just like everything else. It's like athletics or anything else. When someone who is depressed and oppressed is trying to find a way out, then they're going to go with whatever the path of least resistance is, and also whatever they feel like they have a talent in that they can do. And so it's just like anybody else that's not, that doesn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth and doesn't grow up in a mansion, or doesn't grow up in a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood, and their desires are to be better off in life and to make the situation better off for their family. So how can you hold that back from them? Not when you got other companies that people consider legit and everything else that are actually really harming, killing, and destroying people. I won't name any industries, but there are those that are out there that are doing that legally every day, and nobody is saying a word. Right? So, and then the final straw, okay, so because I'm old enough to remember the fight against gangster rap, which was C. Dolores Tucker, which I've mentioned before. And she was the one that came out basically against NWA and against Eazy-E and basically all of the West Coast rappers, because at that point the most of the gangster rap was West Coast rap. And more in the East Coast rap, even though it had some edge to it, it was more so like party music. So it was more so party music, and the West Coast rap was in my opinion, was more oriented towards, the whole F the police, we're being persecuted and downtrodden here in this country, and we need these things to be taken care of and fixed in a timely manner. So those are the things that we're talking about. And C. Dolores Tucker was one of the first one. But here's the thing. You cannot legislate morality. So that's when they first came out with the parental advisory stickers. And that's what I wanted to mention, is the fact that this stuff has to do with parenting. Because just like, for example, with my children that were around the age, like when Jay-Z was coming through, it was like, look, and I was telling them, I was like, look, this is entertainment. This is not how most people live their life. That's why it's entertaining, because it's out of the ordinary and it's not normal. So so whenever anything is going on like this, because all of this good and bad is going to exist within the society, it's going to be out there. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You can't, and once again, you can't legislate morality. But what you can do is you can parent your children. You know, you could tell them you can't watch that, or you could tell them you only have a certain amount of time that you can watch that, or make sure that they understand that what they're watching is not reality to everybody, that it's just the person that's doing this music, it's their reality. Well, anyway, Fastest 15 Minutes is up. What do you think? Leave me a comment. My name is Judson Powell. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit all the buttons, but most of all, hit that love button. Love you.